How do you do, GPot crew? It's your Nutty Buddy Pud here, and today we're talking about Loki, Season 2, Episode 4, called Heart of the TVA. Sadly, I recorded my video review all the way through and didn't have the mic on. Or at least the mic wasn't set to the proper mic. So I went on this whole rant about how this series, how this season has left me in this weird state of I don't know how I feel about it. And I brought up points before that are just frustrating that I'm going to have to go over them again as my brain just channeled through the ideas. I'll try to sum up what I had said prior in this last review that I recorded and, unfortunately messed up and didn't, have the mic on. But there's something weird going on with the Marvel Cinematic Universe to where it raised the bar so high for something, and then now it's gone low, and it's trying to raise it back up. But I'm like, it's because I've seen how good it can be, that even the stuff that is good, better compared to the other, is just weird. For example, I use this as an example, and I'm trying to remember how I use it perfectly. But when we saw Kang the Conqueror in the last Ant-Man movie, which was just a horrid mess, and then we see Victor Timely, aka the same character that Kang is supposed to be, but another variant version, and he's much more charming and much more better as a character in this. And that's just the great thing about, I said before, about the characters being great and everything. Loki, Sylvie, Mobius and everything, Obi. The problem is there's just something not, I couldn't find it before, and I can't find it now, that is offish about this series. It's not as good as the first season. The pacing feels a little bit slower. We know things are going to eventually happen, and we're going to have a shift and change and a whole new reboot of things, a reset. But I don't know what direction they're going, and I know that's probably what they're trying to do, is confuse the audience. But it's not a charming confusion. It's more of a, oh, okay, you're starting to feel like the Fox universe, which maybe is another point that they're trying to do, trying to be as confusing as the Fox universe, so, characters that I love could make jokes at it. But if that's what you're pulling for, then you're doing a bad job of it, because it's not going to end up good. People are going to lose interest. And I feel like we're starting to see that. Now, for people that might like this episode, yes, it is a better episode. But that's not really saying much compared to what we've had in the past. When we had such a great saga with the Infinity Saga, with a few bad lemons, and then this saga just started off really badly and had a few great, charming things here and there, but by themselves they were better. They weren't good as a complete whole. I feel like Disney weighed too much heavily on the Disney Plus series for people to be invested in that and the movies, and now because of outside interferences, changes because of the writers and actors strike, that there's just something adamantly wrong. Things we were supposed to get are not happening. And sorry about the cough. And that feels like there's something just off about everything. Maybe it's just me because I'm so invested in everything that I've become a little bit oversaturated and tired. And maybe the nonchalant people will have a little more fun with this. But I'm not as consumed by this as it was before. Now, for those who are wondering, you're doing this review kind of late. That's because I did the Five Nights at Freddy's, and actually I brought this up in the last review when I recorded, and I didn't bring it up now. That's the reason why I didn't get this recorded. And we have the next episode coming this Thursday, so I'm like, where are we going with this? Because we know things just turned bad, but the things aren't going to stay that way. I know I was saying it, but my point is, I don't know what to expect from this series. And for a show to grip me, I'm going to use an example. I saw the new South Park thing, the Pandaverse, and I also saw, I'm seeing the new Rick and Morty. And those shows aren't the greatest that they're at, but at least they're fairly entertaining. And they have the whimsical, nonsensical point of being enjoyable. This, I feel like, is trying to fill me in on something that either I already know or I don't care about. And if the Disney Plus series are separate from the movies, then the catastrophic effects that this is going to make doesn't matter, really, if you think of it that way. Sorry about the cough, guys. So the point of the whole thing is this. I'm invested in this series, but I'm also scared that things that happen in these episodes, for example, the loom that's happening in this episode, is not going to be as catastrophic as we may think, because the Disney Plus shows don't effectively dramatically change things outside of, like, I am so sorry, guys. I'm coughing a lot, and I did this during my Five Nights at Freddy's video. This is why I also been not doing when I do reviews. But the point of the whole thing is this. I don't know what to think. Like, which points are actually going to be beneficial, what's not. For example, let's use Miss Marvel as an example. Miss Marvel, everything that she talked about, even the mutant thing, is not even a pinpoint into the Marvels movie that's coming out in November. She just is there. You know what I mean? They're not going to pinpoint any of the action or anything that happened as far as the storyline in her town with all the characters in that movie. So that's the same thing that feels like this is going to happen there. So there's nothing dramatically to intake here that's going to be catastrophic. So when you see something like the loom explode, I don't feel any impact is going to happen, because there's a connected universe with other Marvel movies that loses its charm in that way. I want to think that it's going to happen, but then it's going to be confusing for people that are watching the movies, unless you're watching something like Deadpool, where they can just try to fill you in and that kind of thing. And I don't mean to throw Deadpool out there like that, because everyone knows I love Deadpool. My point to the whole thing is, even in his first movie, he said, which Xavier are you talking about, McAvoy or Stewart? He was confused. It's like we're leading into that same situation with the MCU, where we don't know which one is the catastrophic event. Where is the bad timeline? Where is all these things? Because we have all this stuff with Doctor Strange, which is making a multiversal breakage and everything. And then we have the same thing now in Loki. Is it just a bunch of things that are going to be destroyed, and then everything's going to implode in itself and a new universe is being made? Because if so, that really feels like a cheap way of going, which also brings into why South Park made a joke about that, with the whole Pandaverse or whatever. It's feeling like that. I hate to say that South Park's right, but South Park's pretty good about guessing those things, and it's starting to feel like they're pandering. But at the same time, it's more pandering as far as giving people what they want or they think they want. I don't know what you guys. Tell me what you guys think. Did you really enjoy this episode? And do you feel like it's hitting the ooh, it's an Oz buttons of you, or is it just more like, oh, it's informative? And if it is informative, how is it informative for you? Do you feel like the effects, or do you feel any dramatic effect on this? Again, comment below. Tell me what you guys think and everything. I hope you guys really enjoyed this review. I know it's late. This Thursday we have the episode 5 coming out, and I think there's 6 episodes together, or 8. I don't know. I'm going to look it up and everything. But as always, I'm Putty with the GPot crew, and you know what we do. We do reviews like this for you. Next movie review is going to be Miss Marvel, and then we, of course, have Aquaman. So, hey, November, December, we have movie reviews, and we got more things. Oh, October 31st, this Tuesday, Halloween, spooky time. I will be live streaming at 8 p.m. Make sure you're there. Oh, and then click on one of these videos or playlist. Click on one. Actually, I'll put the promo for my Halloween thing right there. Go check out the promo. If you're not scared. Ooh, peace.